Welcome to Your Wish Fulfilled. This is your magical podcast to come into the feeling that you have already attained everything you want, because after all, you are an eternal, infinite, spiritual being. You'll never die. There's no beginning. And so, why not enjoy being alive? Today we're diving into Will Is The Dynamo from the Law of Success by Paramahansa Yogananda, a mystical being with magic powers. And before we get into this, let's take a moment to hold the vision of that which you wish to create in your life. Just think of something that you'd like to have more of, or less of, or change. What do you want to create? Just open your heart, open your mind, and let yourself feel and see and hear that which you desire to create. Allow the scene as if there's the future reality and it starts to appear in front of you right now. Your future self is becoming clearer. Just notice who you are becoming. Who is this future self? Who is your higher self? What do you do differently? How do you feel? What is different in your future life, your higher life? It may be vivid images, it might be fuzzy, it might be a feeling. Just allow yourself to tap into your future reality. And just give thanks for the opportunity to reconnect with your higher self. And bringing that awareness and that feeling into this moment as we dive into Will Is The Dynamo, the Law of Success. In the last episode, we talked about the power of thought. Along with positive thinking, you should use willpower and continuous activity in order to be successful. Every outward manifestation is the result of will. But this power is not always used consciously. There is mechanical will as well as conscious will. The dynamo of all your powers is volition or willpower. Without volition, you cannot walk, talk, work, think, or feel. Therefore, willpower is the spring of all your actions. In order not to use this energy, you would have to be completely inactive, both physically and mentally. Even when you move your hand, you are using willpower. It is impossible to live without using this force. Mechanical will is an unthinking use of willpower. Conscious will is the vital force accompanying determination and effort. A dynamo that should be wisely directed. As you train yourself to use conscious, not mechanical will, you should also be sure that your willpower is being used constructively, not for harmful purposes or for useless acquisitions. To create dynamic willpower, determine to do some of the things in life that you thought you could not do. Attempt simple tasks first. As your confidence strengthens and your will becomes more dynamic, you can aim for more difficult accomplishments. Be certain you have made a good selection. Then, refuse to submit to failure. Devote your entire willpower to mastering one thing at a time. Do not scatter your energies, nor leave something half done to begin a new venture. Now, this is, on one hand, quite simple, but on another hand, very profound. Let's unpack what this means. So, on one hand, there's positive thinking. We have to have powerful thoughts. If we're thinking negative thoughts, it's not going to work, it's too hard, it's not fair, I don't like it, then we sabotage ourselves on the level of our thoughts. So let's assume that you are having powerful thoughts. Success is guaranteed. It's definitely going to happen. I'm a great soul. You're having powerful thoughts about whatever you're doing. Along with positive thinking, you should use willpower and continuous activity in order to be successful. What does it mean? It means we have to do stuff. We can't just think about things. We can't just think success is mine, success is mine, success is mine. We actually need to use our willpower to do things continuously, the right things. Every outward manifestation, everything you've created, is the result of your will. But this power is not always used consciously. So a lot of what we have created in our life has happened unconsciously. There is mechanical will, which is automatically, I'll just buy this thing, do this thing, wander around, eat this thing, go to the fridge. It's willpower, but it's done in an automatic and unconscious way. The dynamo of all your powers is volition or willpower. Without volition, you cannot walk, talk, work, think, or feel. So in other words, willpower is the basis of absolutely everything, including our thoughts. So if you think I am a powerful soul, that's your will. If your mind is wandering around all over the place, that's also the will. If we want to stand up and walk over to the door, get in the car, we want to get a glass of water, that's all willpower. Everything's willpower. Sending an email is willpower. Listening to this audio is willpower. Therefore, willpower is the spring of all your actions. Right? Most of the time we don't think about this, but there is a power that allows us to live. In order not to use this energy of willpower, you would have to be completely inactive, like not moving at all, not breathing, both physically and mentally. Even when you move your hand, you are using willpower. It is impossible to live without using this force. Let's try not to use willpower for 30 seconds. It's not possible, right? You'll move, you'll think something. This is the background reality. You might not even realize this force is there all the time. Mechanical will is an unthinking use of willpower. In other words, if we're not using it on purpose, it just does its own thing, living on autopilot, repeating ourselves, old habits. Conscious will is the vital force accompanying determination and effort. A dynamo that should be wisely directed. So when you realize you have the power, the willpower, to choose where you dedicate your energy, your thoughts, your actions, you have the power, but most of the time it's all over the place. So much of our behavior, apparently it's 95% on average, is just automatic, what he would call mechanical will. Just randomly repeating things without really thinking about it. As you train yourself to use conscious, not mechanical will, you should also be sure that your willpower is being used constructively, not for harmful purposes or for useless acquisitions. So if we're going to focus our attention and our willpower onto something, let's make sure it's not going to harm us or other people, and it's not just randomly buying random stuff and getting more and more things that don't mean anything. Because so many people have used their willpower to achieve things in their life that they're not happy about. We live in a world where people have used enormous amounts of willpower. They've written their goals down, they've held the vision, they've done all the Tony Robbins work, like they've done everything, right? They've used it, and now they've got all this stuff and they're not happy. Why not? Because it was for useless acquisitions that didn't really matter to them when it came down to it. I'm sure you've experienced this yourself, where you think, oh, it's going to be so great when I get all these things. And then it turns out that you don't like it. I mean, it's laughable now, but at the time it's a bit shocking because it takes so much effort. People buying things on credit cards and then they have to pay the bill and they're like, what am I spending all this money on? So personal growth is the highest value use of our time because it stays with us forever. And then, of course, other things that genuinely add value to us and other people. To create dynamic willpower, determine to do some of the things in life that you thought you could not do. Right? So now he teaches us how to create this dynamic will, to go from automatic will, which is happening anyway, mechanical will. How do we create dynamic will? The power. How do we actually be able to use this power to manifest what we want? To create dynamic willpower, determine to do some of the things in life that you thought you could not do. Attempt simple tasks first. As your confidence strengthens and your will becomes more dynamic, you can aim for more difficult accomplishments. Right? So what does this mean? It means think about something that you'd like to do, but you haven't really believed is possible. Be certain that you have made a good selection. Then refuse to submit to failure. Devote your entire willpower to mastering one thing at a time. Do not scatter your energies, nor leave something half done to begin a new venture. This last sentence is pure gold by itself. Devote your entire willpower to doing one thing at a time. Do not scatter your energies, nor leave something half done and begin a new venture. Have you ever started something, given up and started something else? This has been one of my personal biggest problems in my life, actually, by far. Starting something, get bored of it, start something else, get bored of it. This has probably been, I would say, the biggest challenge I've had, actually. So how do we manifest more things? This is a manifestation book, basically. And this is a manifestation podcast. And so what he's saying is write a list of things that you'd like to create. Start with things that, of course, are meaningful and fairly easy. And just focus on that one single thing and work on it consistently until you achieve the success that you want. So think about it. What would you like to create? Maybe it's eating better. Maybe it's doing a bit more meditation, working on a project that you've been putting off, stopping something. I'll give an example. I have been learning the piano again. I used to play the piano when I was younger for a little bit. It wasn't very good. So I'm learning Claire de Lune and another song called Solace and various other songs that I like. I listen to beautiful music and I think, oh, that sounds great. Let me see if I could play that. And then I figure out how to play it with YouTube videos, basically. Or in some cases, I get a music teacher. And so it starts off as an impossible thing that I don't think I can do. And then as I keep practicing, I'm like, you know what? Actually, this is getting better and better and better. Now, I'll be radically honest with you here. My problem is that I jump from one song to the other, and I actually, at this point, have not mastered any of the songs. If you said to me, Michael, play one of these songs for me, I couldn't do it. I would be like, oh, I can play the beginning bit a little bit. So I'm committing to you on this podcast to master one of these songs, and I'll see if I can even play it for you, put it in the podcast. It probably won't be perfect, but I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to finish one song, right? Now, think about this for yourself. What is something, don't start with something really hard. This is what he's saying here. Don't think, oh, how can I make, $10 million if you haven't made $100 in your own business or something. Could you make food every day, good food, and eat it every day, or just for one day, right? Or even make your lunch better, or whatever it is. So pick one thing. Have a list. So here's what he's suggesting. Make a list of all the things you could do in order of difficulty and value, right? So you want to have something valuable to you and reasonably easy. And then you can have more and more difficult things later on. Don't worry too much about writing everything down, but at least have something to do now. And then be certain that you've made a good selection. Then refuse to submit to failure. Refuse to submit to failure. Devote your entire willpower to mastering one thing at a time. This is priceless wisdom here. Mastering one thing at a time. Do not scatter your energies, nor leave something half done to begin a new venture. So, my dear, this is your homework. If you want to take it on, if you want to accept the challenge, master your will. Pick one thing, make it easy, something, fairly manageable, and just keep at it until you master it. And then you can do another thing and another thing. Sounds fun, doesn't it? One thing. Pick something today and just keep working at it until you have achieved the result you want without giving up and without doing something else. So pick the thing that you're most likely to stick with. And then in the next episode, we're going to get into you can control your destiny. You can control your destiny. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for your wonderful presence. Lots of love, and talk to you in the next episode.